Alright, what's up? So, a quick little lesson on sleep. Here's a very simplified, compressed guide on how to get yourself to sleep. So, the very first thing you need to do is pick a time and just go to bed at that time every single day, no matter what. And what I'd recommend doing is you need to find out how much sleep you actually need. So, everyone's sleep requirements are different. I reckon some people probably need to be in bed for 8, some people, well, like me, I need to be in bed for about 9.5 hours to genuinely wake up with good, perfect sleep. So you need to basically try it out. I'd recommend even starting with 10 hours, and because you need to catch up on sleep, because if you're watching this, chances are you're sleep deprived. So pick a time, let's just say 10 p.m. What you need to do is just say you're going to go to bed 10 p.m. every single day, do it, and then don't do an alarm at first because you probably need to catch up on your sleep, but just wake up, and then over about maybe a week or two, you'll probably find yourself waking up at a similar time. After you've caught up on your sleep, basically start setting yourself an alarm based on how much time you think you need. So probably I just go with 9.5 hours first. So 10, 9.5 hours, what's the maths? To 7:30. So after about a week or so of catching up on your sleep, set an alarm for 7:30 every single day, and then after about 2 weeks, you should either find yourself waking up naturally a bit before your alarm, or way before your alarm. Or maybe you're still having to wake up to the alarm, which means that you might actually need more sleep. Chances are you probably don't, but my guess is that you need about 9.5 hours in bed, which also, by the way, doesn't translate to 9.5 hours in sleep, which you probably should know, because basically, time to fall asleep, you're not always asleep when you're in bed. It's kind of complicated, but basically, 8 hours in bed does mean 8 hours sleep. 9 hours in bed probably means 8 hours in sleep. It's basically add 1 hour or minus 1 hour to find out how many hours of sleep you're actually getting, also depending on your other sleep habits. Right, so now that you're doing that, you've got to get the good sleep habits. Basically, what are the most important ones? Most importantly, probably are screens. So don't have your phone or any sort of screens within an hour of going to bed. Preferably 2, preferably an hour and a half or 2. So basically, sticking with 10 p.m. at 9 p.m. make sure you're not looking at your phone or computer at all. I do sometimes still end up doing it, like it happens, but as a general, you want to make sure that you're not looking at screens from 9 p.m. onwards if you're going to bed at 10, because it'll mess up with your sleep, and you'll just find yourself, you'll find it harder to fall asleep and you have worse quality sleep. So that's the first thing. Second thing you can do in conjunction with that is dim all the lights in your house or your room, or wear sunglasses, which is what I do. I would show you, but they're across my room and I can't be bothered to get them. Basically, because light triggers you to wake up, because that makes sense, right? You wake up in the morning and it's light, oh, so your body thinks, oh, it's time to wake up. Basically, your circadian biological rhythms uses light to keep your body awake or tell it that it's got to sleep. So at 9 p.m. basically, these artificial lights, they're waking you up. So if you're walking around in a glaring house, your body thinks, oh, there's sun, okay, it's time for me to stay awake, it's not time to go to bed yet. So what you need to do is put on your sunglasses, or just dim all the lights in your house, and do that for the last hour. I don't think you need any more. Basically 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. have your sunglasses on, or dim the lights in your house. If you live with your family, then you'll probably have to put your sunglasses on. So that's the next thing. The next thing after that is not eating dinner within 3 hours of going to bed. I still struggle with this one generally. I probably eat within 2 hours of going to bed. 2 hours is just about alright, depending on how big the meal is that you eat. But let's say you're going to bed at 10, you don't want to be eating later than 8 at the very latest. If possible, it would be preferable for you to eat at 7 or even 6. That would be preferable. The earlier you can eat your dinner, the preferable, although not too early, because then you might be too hungry going to bed. But yeah, so basically if you're going to bed at 10, just minus 3 hours, so basically eat at 7, you can eat a fairly solid meal then, and you should be good to go to bed. Unless it's a massive meal, then eat earlier. Because basically when you're eating, your digestive system, if you eat close to bed, your digestion system is waking up, and it's like, oh, it's time to digest, it's time to, your body systems are waking up and they've got to be active using energy. So when you're going to sleep, you're trying to wind down and use less energy. So it's just counterproductive if you're starting up some system of your body when your body's trying to actually wind down. So basically you'll find yourself, if you eat close to bed, that you'll struggle to fall asleep. So yeah, that's the next thing. Apart from that, I think there's a few things that I'm missing. You can also get sunlight in the morning, which helps you as part of your circadian rhythm, because it lets your body say, oh, it's daytime, it's time for me to wake up. It reduces some hormone, I can't remember what it is, maybe probably melatonin or one of the other ones, which basically helps you feel more awake and helps you feel more ready to sleep when it's time for you to go to sleep. So that's another thing you can do. It's not the most important, but yeah. I can't remember, I feel like there's so much I'm missing. It's just these things that I'm doing are just so part of my routine already that I've kind of forgotten. But yeah, don't drink water as well within the probably hour or two. I kind of find it difficult, but because otherwise you need to wake up during the night and pee. Oh yeah, room temperature. You need to have a temperature that's like, I think it's just 1 degree colder than normal room temperature or something like that. Oh no, your body basically needs to cool down 1 degree in order to fall asleep, because I don't know why, I think it's just your body reducing the energy, cooling down, slowing down. Basically your body temperature will decrease. So if you've got a hot room, you probably already know that you can't fall asleep. So open the windows, get the fresh air, help your breathing and help your body feel cool, and just make sure you're feeling cool. Because you'll probably wake up in the night if it's hot in your room as well. You've probably done that plenty of times. It's kind of obvious, I guess, but opt for a colder room. And then also, oh yeah, every single, I'm not 100% sure if this is true, but I remember hearing a while ago, I think it was on this app called Headspace, which is basically like meditation, helps you sleep app. Basically every muscle in your body needs to be relaxed for you to be able to fall asleep. So basically the technique is going through your whole body and just imagining every single muscle in your body and maybe giving it a little wriggle to like sort of help you acknowledge it, and then just relaxing it. So you go through every part of your body, from your toes up to your legs, up to your arms, up to your even your neck and your head, and you just basically just imagine your body is some jelly and let it flop in your bed. Because every single part, because sometimes you're tensing without even realizing it. It's crazy sometimes. You're kind of tensing your neck to hold it in a position or something, and you don't actually realize. And it helps a lot to go to sleep if every single part of your body is relaxed. I think those are the main ones. You could try meditation. You could try meditation before you go to bed, because that helps calm your mind. Because a lot of the time I've struggled falling asleep when my mind's racing. I've got thoughts. Oh yeah, if you're thinking about something in particular, you won't fall asleep. I do this all the time. I'm planning my day, and I'm planning the next day, and I literally never fall asleep when I'm planning what I want to do the next day. You've got to just let your mind wander whatever random thing it wants to think about, and that's how you have to fall asleep. So meditation helps with this because it quietens your mind and helps it be more at peace. So you could try that if you want. I think that should be it. Everyone says you got to have a nice night routine to help yourself calm down. Yeah, I mean, my night routine is just brushing my teeth, making sure that I've had a shower, and reading a book. I'd recommend reading a book, not one that's too intense, because I was reading this book called Skullduggery Pleasant, which is basically a fiction, kind of action detective one, and it kind of gets you too emotional when you're reading it. So pick a peaceful book and read it, and basically just do that for half an hour, and your eyes will start to feel sleepy, and you put it to the side and you just fall asleep basically. I believe that should be it. So consistent bedtime, all of the other good sleep habits. Oh yeah, coffee. This is the last little one. Don't have coffee. Basically, coffee has a half-life of 6 hours. So let's say you have 100 milligrams of coffee, which is about average for 1 cup of coffee at 12 o'clock. That means at 6 o'clock you still have 50 milligrams of coffee in your system. that's kind of crazy, you know? So that means at 10 o'clock, well, at midnight, you'll still have 25, so at 10 you have like 30 or something like that. I don't know, I can't be bothered to do the maths. So what that means is essentially at 10 o'clock you're going to bed having drunken a quarter of coffee, which is a quarter of a cup of coffee, which kind of seems mental. And depending on your coffee tolerance, maybe you drink coffee all the time, so maybe it's not that deep. But I don't, to me that sounds crazy. So what you want to do, if you are drinking coffee, first of all, don't drink it within the first 90 minutes of waking up, because if you drink it within the first 90 minutes of waking up, you'll end up having a crash. I saw it on Andrew Huberman podcast, apparently you have a crash later in the day if you do that. But if you wait 90 minutes and then drink coffee, you don't have the crash. Preferably don't drink coffee at all, but I'm just saying. So basically, let's say you wake up 7:30, you have a cup of coffee at preferably like 9, as early as possible, but not within the first 90 minutes. So let's say you have a cup of coffee at 9, 100 milligrams. Still not great, but it's alright. That's the best thing you can do, really. Drink as little as you can, 9 if possible, and as early as possible, but not the first 90 minutes, because the half-life keeps the coffee in your system. If you go to bed with coffee in your system, it basically blocks the receptors for a chemical which tells you that you need to go to sleep. So what the coffee does is, imagine this is like a receptor, like a neurotransmitter or whatever, and the coffee has a chemical which basically just comes here, and then all the other chemical that's supposed to be here, the one that tells you that it's time to go to sleep, can't go there. So it sits there, it builds up, whilst I need 3 hands, man. So the coffee is attached like this, and the other ones, imagine this hand's still here, the other ones are coming in, trying to lock in here, but they can't because the coffee's locked in. And basically what happens is, when the coffee goes away, all of these ones rush in, they come in, and they tell your body that it's time to sleep, which is what creates the coffee crash. Can't remember when I was saying that again. But I was just basically explaining the function of coffee, that it blocks the receptor that tells you that it's time to go to sleep. So that's why you shouldn't have any coffee at all, preferably, and as minimal as you can before you go to bed. So I guess that should be everything. My camera's about to die. Yeah, I hope you... I kind of wanted to do a main channel one, but I thought I can't be bothered. I've already done so much on sleep. Already so many people have done so many videos on sleep, so that's a quick little full guide to sleep. I probably missed a couple things, but yeah. Peace.